It's a lab walkthrough for WMI Windows consumer. So here in this lab we will receive information about threat actor who is using WMI consumer as persistent mechanism, so he can run malicious code after some time when a specific event will be met or maybe specific process will be run in our environment. To hunt for this technique, we have to analyze our Windows environment for all events associated with WMI consumer service installation. As usual, we will start with our MISP platform. So in MISP platform, we have received information about new threat actor with the label regduke, who is using WMI consumer as a persistent mechanics. So let's check this event in details and try to find the information that can be available for us. So in short description, we can see that regduke is using WMI consumer as persistent mechanics that is launched every time when process named WordPad exe is started. So here we also can see some indicators associated with this threat actor and with this attack. So we can check these indicators in our environment. As usual, let's start with the simplest one, with the network indicators. And to perform the search, let's switch to Elastic. And here we have two domains to be searched against. So let's go to our Kibana and perform just a search for one of these domain names. Let's adjust the time frame. Okay, it's for last 6 months. That's good enough for any threat hunting. And as I can see, there nothing was observed related to this domain. Let's go back and take this domain and perform another search. Again, nothing was found. So seems we haven't observed these indicators in our environment. What else do we have here? So we have a link with information about this malware, so we can check it in more details. But also we have two indicators related to this persistence mechanism. We have WMI subscription name and we have WMI subscription trigger. So to look for events that WordPad.exe is presented, not a good idea because definitely we will catch all our users who is working with Microsoft Office. But this one looks better since Microsoft Office is not really using WMI subscription for any mechanics like updates or installation. I guess we have a really good chance if we find something that it can be a real sign of attack. First of all, we have to check to find events what we are looking for. So in our environment we have a sysmon installed, and for sysmon let's check what events can be registered. So here it's just the normal events, and for events with ID 19, 20, and 21, we can see that it's WMI related events, and for this event we will look in our environment to find the subscription with this name from our TI data. So let's copy paste this subscription name and perform a specific search to look for all sysmon events related to WMI events and included with subscription name. In the end, we should receive some search like this. So we will look for events from model sysmon, and event ID should be one of these three, and somewhere in these events we should find this Microsoft Office updates word. So for this value I'm not specifying the exact field name because I'm not really sure in which field this subscription name can be populated. So let's perform a search. So in the end we should receive search that will look this way. We're looking for events from event model sysmon, and event ID should be one of these three. And we're looking for the word Microsoft Office updates anywhere in the messages, because I'm not sure about in which field the subscription name can be populated. So it's better for me to look through all events and perform just a full text search. So let's perform this search, check the timeline that it's according to for last 6 months. Okay, we have found some events. They was registered by WinLogbit, and let's check these events in details. So we have found 3 different type of events that WMI event consumer activity detected, WMI consumer to filter detected, and WMI consumer activity. So let's check in details all these events. Here in the description we can find that name for Microsoft Office updates was created, and it has included some PowerShell command. Definitely looks suspicious. So here in events, in this event, we can see that consumer name Microsoft Office update was created, and filter name also the same. And in the last one, we can see that so here we can see that this subscription was active. So this subscription was created, and the query for this subscription was select star from instance creation event within 3, where target instance is Win32 process and target instance name like WordPad. So basically that means that this subscription will check all running processes every 3 seconds. So this statement within 3 tells us this. And in case if within this running processes we will find a WordPad.exe, the condition, the action for this trigger will be executed, and all actions will be executed as well. And for executed actions, we can go back to this first event. Okay, not this one, to the second one. And for this action, we can see that PowerShell command will be executed. So definitely looks like what we are looking for. We have a subscription with this name. It has the same trigger like it was described in our threat intelligence data, so it will be reacting on running of WordPad. And as an action, it will execute some PowerShell, and this PowerShell command we cannot see because it's encoded in base64. So from this moment we can start our investigation. Let's collect all interesting events for us, and we will do it again for using functionality of timeline. So let's create a new timeline. And execute the same search that we have run before. So again, we're looking for exactly the same events. So now let's pin them to our timeline. And also we can rename our timeline to RegDuke investigation. So first of all, let's find the user who installed this subscription for us. Here we can see that it was IT support. Maybe it's a good idea to check from where this user has came to us. So let's run the search username IT support. And here in our authentication events, we can see the source IP address from where this user has connected to us. So let's also pin this event and go back to events of the subscription. Let's check what this PowerShell command is executing in our environment. So again, I'm using the same search I have used before. So we need the second event, if I remember right. And let's take this encoded command and again put it in CyberChief just to decode this command. So I'm copy pasting it as input. As a recipe, I am applying from base64. Again, I see the null bytes. And to remove these null bytes, I will add some more ingredients in our recipe. So here we can see that a new variable URL was created. In this URL, some paste bin address was set. And after it, we're invoking web request to request this URL from this variable and to save everything to output file that it's another PowerShell script. And this file and this script also will be executed after this command. So the very next step I would like to perform, I would like to check if this script was run in our environment and what action this script is executing. So to do it, I'm going back to our Elastic. And here I will perform the search for this file name. Again, I'm not specifying any specific field because I would like to look through all of the possible fields. And here I can see that file was created. So definitely this script was executed. So let's pin events of file creation to our timeline. And also let's find information about this process and all other actions that this process has executed. For this, I need process PID field. So here I can see that files was created in two different processes, and I will start with the earliest one. So I will look for events with process ID 4424. Beside file creation, I can see some events that pipe was created, that network connection was detected, also DNS query. So these events I also would like to pin. With DNS query, let's check what was done. So it was a PowerShell. And the DNS name that was requested, this one, ACF66. For network connection, I can see that it was a request to Google DNS server, so nothing really interesting here. And else, so some registry object was added. Okay, nothing really special here. It was just a normal. It was just an activity from this PowerShell tool. So let's check the second page with all events. And here we can see that image was loaded. So nothing really special, some DLL files. Another DNS query, let's check this one as well. Okay, it's paste bin. So definitely the URL we have seen before in decoded command also was executed. So to go through all image loaded, let's display additional column just to see all these additional events. And also file path. So from file path I can see that it's some normal Windows DLLs that was requested, since we have not seen that they were created recently during this activity. So yeah, we can suggest that it's just a normal DLL file that is used by PowerShell. And here in temp, it's also, according to the file name, it's some temp file that PowerShell is creating during the command execution. So let's check events associated with DNS query paste bin. Okay, so here we have 3 events, and all of them was DNS query to resolve with pastebin.com. So nothing really interesting. Unfortunately, we don't have any possibilities to find the exact text of this PowerShell command that was downloaded. since I guess we have not seen the running of this command. Or let's double check it. So here, yeah, we're executing the search for this PowerShell script, and we can see only events that file was created, but we don't see any activities to run this command. Yeah, I guess something going wrong for the attacker, and this script was not executed in our environment. So let's check all our events we have pinned. So it's started with network connection detected. If you remember, it was an authentication of our user. So yeah, better to add some authentication events of user IT support after its user has installed this WMI consumer. He set up a filter to catch all the case if a WordPad will be running, and in case of WordPad if WordPad will be run in this environment, the action, the PowerShell script with encoded command will be executed. In this PowerShell script, we are requesting paste bin and also downloading some file. Also, we have observed additional activity of DNS query and network connection to some file of acv66.com. So definitely also we can use it as additional indicator. So our timeline is ready. Now we can attach it to the new case. And pass this case to our investigation team. So here we have our timeline attached, and all links for events we have found will be also attached to this timeline. So what we can do next? Let's go again to all pinned events, and let's go back to our MIS platform to add some additional indicators we have observed during this investigation. So first one, let's specify the network activity as URL, the URL of paste bin we have observed here. So this URL I will take from here, from the coded command, URL requested after WMI consumer trigger. So let's submit it. Another indicator we can use, it's with file name. So here we can use it as artifact dropped, and it will be file name. So yeah, we can specify the full path, so also we can specify the file name. So I guess better to do it with this one, since it's try to mimic for WinWord update with some meaningful number maybe. So let's fill the comment that it's file created after requesting external URL. What else can we add here? Yeah, the one we have observed, the network connection we have observed. So with DNS query, we can take domain name from here. And add another indicator of network activity. Value we will save this domain name, and here we will specify the domain name. DNS request, and in the comment we will specify that it was a DNS request triggered by process of malicious PowerShell. So, great. We have found three additional indicators. What else? We have observed the username, we have observed the IP address from where this user has came to us, but username definitely it's our internal information. It cannot be used as indicator for all other organizations, and also IP address that user has came from. It started with 10, so it's private network. It's also will be useless for anyone else. So all these three indicators are good enough to be shared, but I guess that's all. So in this lab, we have received information about threat actor activity or about malicious software, and we was able to find the indicators in our environment of this malicious software. And after some investigation, we have confirmed these indicators and also have find some additional behavior. This mechanism in Windows. It's a typical persistence mechanism, so you can install it and wait that it will be triggered every time the user will execute a specific action that you are looking for. So in our case, it was just a run of Office application of WinWord.